Alright guys, I'm headed back down the road, going to another committee meeting. This time it's for the Digital Information Privacy Task Force, and this committee specifically handles, well, I should say where I'm headed first. I'm going back to Lander, Wyoming. Lots of committees going to Lander this year. Senator Cale Case, I'm going to give you a shout out for recruitment. That's darn good work. So, going back to Lander, and we're going to be covering items such as student privacy in schools, and several other topics, but I specifically want to talk about the student privacy bill. We brought one last year from this committee, and it passed both the House and Senate. We couldn't find an agreement between the House and Senate versions, though. They were amended differently. So the bill died for a lack of agreement, I guess you could say. So we're going to look at some of those amendments that were brought by the House and the Senate and find a working compromise and bring it back during the general session. Because the rights of those kids are extremely important. Currently, right now, what we're talking about under a student privacy bill has to do with cell phones, those types of things, social media accounts. That situation's being handled very differently across the state, which is fine. I'm all about school boards having the rights to handle business differently within their own schools. But some school boards, in my opinion, and obviously in the opinion of the majority of the legislature, are coloring outside the lines as far as violating the rights of these students. And what that has to do with is delving through their cell phones, delving through their social media accounts without parent permission. And that's what we're asking for. We're asking for parent permission, that outreach is made, that contact is made. We've got provisions in the bill in case of emergency, such as suicide. Things of that nature. So I think we cover our bases pretty well, but like I said, we've got to go through this bill and find a compromise that works between the House and Senate versions and bring that forward next session. And I'll cover more of what happened in the committee and more of the topics on my return video. But I wanted to cover right now the election. So the election, I've been challenged in the primary by Ted Davis, and I wanted to give a shout out to Ted for jumping back into the race, back into the state legislative race. That's a stand-up thing. It's tough to put your name on paper and ask people to basically to pick somebody that stands more with their ideals of how government should run, and that's a big deal, and it's hard to do. So good on you, Ted Davis. And then during the general election, I'll be challenged. Well, I guess that if I make the general election, if I make it to the general election, then I'll be facing off Randy Linen. And Randy Linen's a Democrat out of Sundance. Good guy, stand-up guy. Once again, a shout out to Randy for doing a stand-up thing and putting his name in the hat. It's a tough thing to do. So good on you, sir. And we'll see you guys on the campaign trail. I also wanted to talk a little about my campaign. I'm going to be running. I'm already off running hard. I've got campaign signs. So leave a comment in the block if you'd like a campaign sign. I'd really appreciate any and all help. Really could use it. But we've got campaign signs. We're working on the literature right now, getting that finalized so that we can put out some palm cards and stuff like that in case you wanted to help and do a little door-to-door, just hand out flyers. I'll have them for you, and that would be greatly appreciated. What else? County commissioner's race. We've got a good county commissioner's race coming in the primary. Kelly Dennis, the incumbent, is being challenged by Mike McInerney. Both stand-up guys. Should be a good race. As far as the city, any of the city council races, city mayoral races, I don't have all that information yet. But anyways, it's really looking to get out there. Our field shrunk a little bit on the U.S. congressional race. Some of the candidates did not file, which, you know, I think that's the way to do it in a big race like that. Get your feelers out, see how much support you get, and if you don't get it, by the time the filing comes, don't file. Save yourself the time and money, and your supporters the time and money. And I think that was a good call by some of those guys. As many of you know, my guy that I'm supporting and still a strong supporter of is Leland Christensen. I suggest you all go over to his Facebook page or over to his website. It's Leland Christensen for Wyoming, and check it out. Give him a look over. The guy's a state senator currently. He served as a county commissioner. He served as a deputy sheriff. He served in the military. He's got the bona fides of service behind him, and for me that means a heck of a lot, and I know that does for a lot of you. Anyhow, I'm gonna keep trucking down to Lander, and I got a long road trip ahead of me. Those of you know the state pretty well. I'm still on Highway 50, so I got a ways to go. But anyways, keep praying for rain out there, guys. We need it. Talk to you later.